Welcome to Demoted, the podcast where AI is taking over, and so is your job. I'm Corp and Natalie, here to make sure your LinkedIn skills stay relevant, even if you're not sure what you're doing.
And I'm Corporate Bro. I'm still trying to figure out if AI is my assistant or if it's just waiting for me to slip up so it can replace me. Stay tuned.
Today we're diving into how AI is changing everything. And by changing, we mean destroying jobs. But don't worry, there's an app for that.
I've already automated my existential crisis. Listen in, or the robots might start doing that for you too.
So that was written by ChatGPT.
That was written by ChatGPT. That was the big reveal.
Demoted.
The big reveal is that a lot of this outline was written by ChatGPT.
Wasn't great.
Wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
And if you're wondering, like, why did we make those acting choices of our tones? It's because Talon wrote, or ChatGPT wrote, we're not sure, parentheses, excited.
Yeah, and then I got sarcastic.
And then mine was parentheses laughs, which is why I started chortling at Ross's hilarious joke.
I'm not even sure if it was a joke. And then I was supposed to be deadpan. So,
what are we talking about today, Ross?
Shockingly, we're talking about AI. And by the way, welcome Moterheads back to Demoted.
Let's do a little what's good because we traveled together last week.
Okay, yeah, we did spend some time together in the East Coast.
And we'll be like doing kind of a recap episode on that separately, but I do want to talk about one dinner that we had.
We had a dinner
at the old Hickory Tavern or BBQ or
Steakhouse. It was a steakhouse in the, National Harbor
Gaylord
Hotel.
If you guys have ever stayed at a Gaylord, you've been blessed with a conference or sales kickoff and your company sends you there. There was the astronomers kickoff as well.
Yes, 2,000 astronomers were there.
Shockingly, none of them knew us, which was not shocking at all.
They didn't look like they would know us either, not to profile, but they didn't look like the people I typically find myself with.
We were like, oh God, are these going to the sales kickoff? And then we dug a little deeper. No, it's the astronomers conference. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, the Gaylord is
just a monstrosity.
A warehouse from hell.
Yeah.
It's like there's activities.
2,000 rooms.
Any like mediocre activity you can think of is there. Bocce ball.
Yep. Weird indoor sort of like town.
There's a river. There's bad pizza.
Yep.
And then there's, of course,
there's a steakhouse.
The Hickory Steakhouse, which everyone was raving about. We're like, okay, we got to go there. It was nice. It was the nicest one in the restaurant.
And obviously we were going to expense it, so we're going to go there.
We have to. We have to pop off.
And so, we walk in, and what was the joke that was made right at the start of the door where you're like, we need your email address. And what did you say? You're like,
I said, I make only if you sign us up for the marketing emails.
And he's like, yeah, we're going to send you lots of spam.
Yeah.
And he leaned in.
He leaned in. He was so yes and. So that was it felt like a good omen. It felt like we were bidding it up with them. And then we got seated in Marc's
really
section.
quick, I asked the brilliant question of, do you guys have room for us? Because there's like a few people you can kind of see in the entryway. We walk in, empty. It's fucking empty. And it's completely empty.
We end up in this back section. They walked us back like 4 rooms. Of course, everything's bigger in D.C., I guess, because it was 4 rooms back and we ended up in Marc's section.
Marc. And Marc is our waiter. And Marc's a special guy.
Marc was awesome. So we sit down and he starts chatting it up with us. We're like, all right, what a friendly dude. Awesome.
And he would always say, okay, guys.
Okay, guys.
Okay, guys, you really can't go wrong with anything here on the menu. And then he would disappear, and then I don't know where you're here. Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
So he started coming back about every 3 minutes. I order the lobster because, again, we're expensing it. And he's like, shoot, we don't have that.
Or he took your order, then he came back later, about 5 minutes later, to say he didn't have it.
Then disappears again. I'm like, okay, I'll take the scallops. Disappears again. Then we, of course, hear, okay, guys, I was able to find one more lobster.
Which is already sus, because I don't know if I want that lobster.
Okay, so you had one in the freezer. Like, awesome. Go defrost the lobster for me.
It's the one they've avoided everybody else. Like, they don't want to serve to anybody else. And they're like, it's the last one. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. Fuck it.
Yeah, we didn't think it passed the quality test, but she'll eat it.
Yeah, they're the last people of the night.
Yeah. So Marc keeps reappearing. He's commenting on my purse, my outfit.
He's also asking if we've stayed at certain hotels in other cities in the world. He's like, oh, yeah, I've stayed there. And we're like,
he's stayed everywhere.
In San Diego.
He's like, you guys heard of Nobu? Cool. Yeah, I've been there.
You heard of Nobu?
Took my girlfriend there.
Yeah.
So he's been to every nice place. We're like, Marc, why are you working at Hickory Barbecue Steakhouse?
What are you doing? He's had everything on the menu, though. He upsold the shit out of me. I didn't realize that the mushrooms were going to be extra.
They were extra.
And I thought that just came on the steak.
Here's the pièce de résistance. We're trying to leave.
We're trying.
And we're saying, we're heading home tomorrow. We're not going to take boxes. So sorry. I know that might be, wasteful.
Yeah. There was a little leftovers. It wasn't like an egregious amount.
No.
And like, no one's going to take like a nasty little piece of lobster home
to my hotel room.
Yeah.
So Marc says, okay, guys, I'm going to bring you a couple boxes. We're not going to let you not get these.
Yeah. He's like, guys, you don't want to waste it. You don't know. You might wake up in the middle of the night. You might be hungry. Hey, guys, do you guys have a refrigerator in your room? You can just throw it on in there. And we're like, we might, don't. We're not sure.
We're not sure. Like, I don't know if I want the scallops in my room personally.
Like, we're going to wake up and go to Starbucks. We're going to go out and get lunch. Like, I don't need the lobster, this like little rubbery piece of lobster in the morning. I'm good. And he's like, no, guys. So he brings out the boxes. So we're shoving lobster in. He put the lobster right next to the mac, right next to the cream spinach. Yep.
It's all in one.
And he puts them all in sideways. Hey, guys, the key with these bags is that you put the boxes in sideways. We're like, okay, this is, and guys, do you guys want a cookie or anything? Because over here, and then he starts telling us every single point of interest in the hotel.
So Ross and I have to go back to start practicing for our sales kickoff tomorrow. And it takes 45 minutes. We get the full tour of the Gaylord.
We get the full tour. He's like, you can go up on this floor. Oh, no, wait, it's closed. Guys, look.
And Ross is holding a bag of stinky.
I'm holding just this giant bag of stinky lobster while this guy gives me the rundown. He's like, you know what you should do? You see that shaft over there? And the way he said shaft just made me uncomfortable. Like, I think the word itself is uncomfortable. Generally, shaft
and
is
Ross
a tough
is
one.
Totally bidding up with this guy. Like, I've fallen silent because I don't know how to deal with Marc. Ross is like, actually, I do like my lobster in the morning cold. Thank you.
So I am actually a morning lobster guy.
You know,
it's
Marc,
funny that you do that.
Right. Like, box that shit up. So then he says shaft, and then he says to the right of the shaft is a hot tub. Yeah. You guys.
You go underground, and then you pop up, and you're in the hot tub.
He goes, grab a shirt, grab a pair of shorts.
And you guys should go to the hot tub right now. And we've just gorged ourselves.
Jump in the hot tub.
Absolutely gorged ourselves.
We're like, okay, first of all, Marc, I don't want to wear shorts and a t-shirt in a hot tub.
I'm good.
I don't want to go there right now.
For once, I didn't bring a bathing suit somewhere.
It's 10. I feel like I've been trapped in your living room for the last 4 hours.
That dinner could have been
an email.
It could have been an email. And we were there for 2.5 hours. It was empty. And yeah, Marc, whenever Natalie gets married, Marc will be there.
Officiating.
Table 42. He'll be working that table hard. There will be lobster.
Ross has a little bit of the lobster still in his marine layer coat pocket here.
It was the piece of lobster that like goes in the claw.
Oh, it was
and so you could kind of like shake. You kind of like shake it a little. It was just like, it was not the piece of lobster like I really desperately wanted to say.
No, but we have it still.
We still have it.
We flew it home from DC. So anyway, that was a story you guys didn't ask for, not written by AI. Probably could have been better if told from AI.
Yeah. Shout out to Marc.
But let's get into so this episode is a little different with the rundown.
Yep.
For all you OG Motorheads, Corpsplain.
Yeah.
Which is a segment that unfortunately died a few months ago that we haven't done. But
people were sick of it.
It's where Ross Corp explains something to me. It's a playful pun on mansplaining.
Right. Because we're self-aware.
Exactly.
Because we're self-aware. Because we know what's happening, but we're self-aware.
We are self-aware.
And it's okay. And we've both opted in.
We've opted in. And then we're going to discuss AI. We're talking about ways to use it at work.
Yep. We want you to leave this if you know nothing about AI, you'll know just a little bit more.
Yeah, 0.001.
Right. You don't need to know all the intricacies. It doesn't matter. We're going to leave you with here's some tools, here's some ways you can use it at work and actually make your life a little easier.
And it's just, I think at this stage, if you're not using it, which I have some friends that are like, oh, it just seems too complicated. Yeah. You're going to fall behind.
It's also just not that complicated now. It just feels complicated.
It's not. And you're going to be like your mom when she tries to show you like an Instagram meme.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to be that. That's what I always tell myself. Like I need to learn so that I'm not that.
Yes.
When my mom
I'm finding myself boomer tendencies. They're coming.
When my mom has her flashlight on and she's like squinting at a meme using that's going to be us if we don't use AI.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this. This is a Corpsplain written by ChatGPT in the voice of me, apparently. So
get your douchiest voice on.
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. AI is like that super efficient intern who never needs coffee, never takes a sick day, and somehow just gets things done. Except this intern doesn't need a desk or lunch breaks. It's all about machines learning how to do stuff on their own, like recognizing pictures, making decisions, or even answering your emails without asking you what you want for the 15th time. You got machine learning, right? Which is basically AI getting better at its job by looking at data over and over, like binge watching YouTube tutorials, but without the distraction of cat videos. Because us humans get distracted. And then there's deep learning. And that's when AI starts to get really fancy. And with these multi-layered neural networks that let you do things like recognize faces or even create art, but Don't expect it to fix your car. It can do a lot for you, but let's be real. It can't make your latte, solve your life problems, or give you an existential pep talk yet. Baby steps, people. There actually are AI therapists, and a lot of people are reporting very, very strong results.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've prompted it with...
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have prompted it, and like they want a certain tone. They want it to be like a certain way, and it does eliminate majority of human bias. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but people who build things also could put their own bias into stuff. So sometimes things can be kind of biased. Mm-hmm. Like we've seen some of the AIs have gotten racist before.
Yes.
It's like, okay, AI is not perfect, people. It's not the end all be all. It is not 100% accurate all the time, but it can definitely do a lot of things for you. Now, the real definition of machine learning and deep learning.
Written by AI also.
We do
feel like we have to caveat.
AI stands for artificial intelligence. You all know that. I hope you know that. It is the field of computer science focused on creating machines that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, like recognizing patterns, understanding language, or making decisions. At its core, AI involves teaching computers to, quote, think by processing data and learn from it. Okay? That is the majority of the AI you'll be using in your life. Like LLMs, large language models, the OpenAIs, the Claudes from Anthropic, the Google Geminis, that's more or less what they're doing. They're looking for patterns. They take all this data from all over the world, all these different things, which is its own separate issue, but that's how it kind of like infers. What you get from AI typically so far is nothing that hasn't been thought of before. So it's really great for brainstorming. We'll get into a lot of ways it can work, but like right now, what AI lacks is genius. It's not going to come up with something new. It's going to take something from all the other pieces, apply them, put them together, and spit something out that is probably that has most certainly been thought of before. So I'll just put that out there.
Which, lucky for me, I don't need genius.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I just need my thought to be finished.
Yes. Or an email written.
You know? So that's good.
In short, AI is the broad field. Machine learning and deep learning are specific techniques used to help computers learn from data and become smarter over time. That doesn't matter. None of that shit matters for you.
Forget everything we just said.
Forget everything you said. So right now, AI exists within guardrails. It's got algorithms, right? They're typically made to perform a very specific task. They're not human where they can go out and do a whole bunch of different random things. They're typically focused. So that's called weak or narrow AI. Something like Siri or Alexa. Like you could say, Alexa, what is the weather right now? And it's like taking keywords, weather now. Okay, it's going to go to weather.com. It's going to like pull that.
Matt was kind of trying to teach me how AI works, and it's like it tries to just finish the sentence for you, right? So if you type in the quick brown fox,
yep,
it will say jumps over the lazy dog.
Yes.
It's just trying to take the thought starter and finish it for you.
Right. It's pulling in what you give it, and then, like you said, exactly, finishing the thought, adding the little context or like trying to give you the solution to the question right there. So it's in its shortest, simplest form right now, the way most people use AI is search. It is a very advanced search that you can converse with.
And I think for the purpose of this episode, the weak/narrow AI is sort of where we're going to be living.
Yeah.
The ChatGPTs, the Perplexities, and then this other option of AI is the strong general AI, right?
Right. Well, that's like where people say, oh, it's a robot that becomes sentient. They also call it like AGI. So strong AI refers to artificial intelligence that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge across a wide range of tasks similar to human intelligence. So that's the wide piece. That's what we haven't really figured out yet.
Is that in it? Where does like Dolly fall in this, or the image? And
the image that will fall still under like weak and narrow AI. Like,
because I think that's sick.
It is sick. No, it is. But again, that's like purely for image generation. So it takes all the descriptors that you give it, and then they'll spit out an image, hopefully, or give you options of images.
And I've seen TikToks that are completely AI generated. Like there's video as well, and that's still in the weak narrow, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's more when like sentience and you combine the robot, right?
Right. Well, so then they have super AI, which is basically where the robots become smarter than humans. They're able to like imagine the movie The Matrix. They plug in, they can watch all the YouTube videos on the planet in seconds and suddenly have all that knowledge and apply that to just like in the same way a human would. It's basically downloading all like.
I hope my firstborn son is AI.
Yeah.
Is super AI.
Super AI. I think we all, well, as long as they don't become Terminator. But AI right now, folks, again, is in its simplest form, in the way that most commoners use it, like myself, is search. Asking it a question. The same thing you would go on Google and do.
And I think the one thing we'll emphasize here is the way, if you're feeling like, oh, I don't really get, AI doesn't know, I can't do it, it's not working for me. It's the prompts and how you communicate with AI.
Exactly.
That are what spits out the outcome that you're looking for.
Yes.
You have to train. It's like having an intern, like we said at the beginning.
Right. It's no different than giving an intern instructions on what you want.
Yes.
If you went to an intern and said, make me a presentation. Well, about what? What do you want like it to be about? Like you're not.
What do you want it to look like?
Right. Okay. Instead you say, hey, I want a sales QBR that focuses on the highs and the lows of this quarter. Talk about my pipeline generation. Talk about my next steps that I'm going to use to, hit my number this quarter. And it will lay out a bunch of slides just like that.
Yeah. And here's the Salesforce export, the dots, like the CV file of all the data that I want you to put into a chart. Like that is doable currently. And if you're sitting grinding, you're a consultant listening to this and you're still building PowerPoints from zero.
Yep. You just don't need to
do it. You just don't need to.
Right. So that's like a great example of using AI in your day-to-day. So you got to think about this like an investment in yourself. It really is. Like you can supercharge yourself. You're going to be like, holy shit, why didn't I just do this before? So here are some very simple ways. And the first one starts with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. You want to write an email, right? You want to start from scratch. You say, I want to write a follow-up email asking, when we can meet next. I want the tone to be, professional. I want it to be honest. And I want it to also mention my fear of if this takes too long, I'm worried that this will no longer be a priority. Mm-hmm. And it will give you that whole email. It'll write that thing in seconds. Now you may say, well, why didn't I just write it if I'm if I'm giving it all this information? Well, you could, but it's going to give you a more well thought out version of the points you want to hit. Basically, you're saying, here's the points and elements I want, and it will give that to you. Yeah.
One of the prompts that I give often is make this more casual.
Right.
Because it'll start with the most corporate, stiff thing and then, okay, make this more casual.
Yep.
Make this more, I don't like this sentence. Like you have to keep kind of getting to what you want. Don't just take the first pass as it is and copy it in.
Right. Right. And I think for someone like me, a huge thing is just get something on paper. Just give me something to work off of.
Can I ask how you use it creatively? Because we use it for this podcast, actually, sometimes with like the social clip prompts. And how do you use it creatively with the work we do?
Yeah. I mean, like a good example would be last year, I was doing like a Secret Santa video for salespeople. I was working on this branded content and I was like, what would be some funny gifts if I was giving to a salesperson to make fun of them?
Yes.
And a lot of them were bad ideas, but one was just like a book that says Sales for Dummies. I'm like, oh, that's like actually good. Or a magic 8-ball for your forecasting.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny. And it gave me sort of like a list of things that I could work off. And then it inspired me to come up with a few other ones that I wanted to put in there. But like for brainstorming, just generally, is a great way.
Like I was writing a similar Christmassy, like different types of people at the dinner table. And I was like the conspiracy theorist uncle I wanted to do. And I was like, what are some conspiracy theories? And then like, what are something that my 14-year-old brother would say? And I built these characters out using AI as well. Another way Annie and I use it is for contract reviews. I'm sorry to all the lawyers listening, but it is really easy to be like, can you make this indemnification clause mutual? We do all of our own contract reviews in-house. And can you scan this contract for anything that says the content will be owned in perpetuity by the brand?
Right. It's great at scanning long documents, summarizing them, and you can query those documents, whether they're a PDF or actual text like in a document. And
so I do want to caveat for the people listening who might have like guardrails around what they can use AI for with their corporate jobs. Like you might not be able to put a contract to just throw it into ChatGPT. I would and ask for forgiveness, not permission. But sometimes companies will have their shittier in-home tool.
Yes.
Right. So my friend works at West Monroe Partners and they have their little AI bot called like Ned or something.
Yeah.
And that's what they use. And use that first. And we're not going to advise you to like throw in your high priority documents into ChatGPT, but we're just speaking to it if you're allowed to.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you're looking at templated contracts, that type of thing. Hey, read this contract and let me know if there's anything that feels, unfair towards me as the creator.
Yeah.
And it will spit some stuff out and you can go look for it. And you're like, oh, well, I want to remove that. I want to add this. Like it is very, very good for writing legal language.
Personally, if I've used it for, if you're signing a contract when you go and like get your eyebrows waxed or like you get a tattoo or you get like something and they send you a contract, you can throw it in there and be like, just making sure like if I get an infection or something, what happens? Like that's a very niche thing, but I love my procedures.
Yeah. And it's not perfect. And like, especially in law, like it's not going to be great at referencing cases unless you have a very specific, you've built a large language model like in-house and you've only fed it certain information. The disadvantage of the big ones is that sometimes they hallucinate.
Yes.
So like if you're going to say, write me a legal argument for why this is not fair, it will hallucinate and make up a court case. It doesn't always, but it can. And that has happened and that has been brought up in law in like various actual court cases. Like you reference a court case that didn't exist. Like, oops,
sorry.
So it's not.
That's what every law
perfect.
school is like hanging on to. Like
right. That
grasping
example right
that. They're like,
grasping
there's
hard.
Okay, let's talk about the analyzing data. So you can upload any type of file. This is me actually genuinely asking.
Yeah.
You can upload an Excel file, a PDF, all of that, and it'll take it, analyze it.
Yes. And an interesting example for me was like, I'm a huge fantasy sports guy, and especially with basketball. I basically uploaded all the projections of the NBA players for this season. And I said, based off of the average, so I play in a league that's an auction draft where you have to bid on players to get them. It's not like a standard who picks first, second, third.
You have to like pay?
It's made of money. Everybody gets a budget of $200 bucks,
okay.
200 fake dollars.
Got it.
And you bid on the players you want on your team. And they project what the value of each player is. This guy's worth $15, this guy's worth $60. And I basically said, build me a roster that meets the threshold of this many rebounds, this many points, this many 3-pointers, under $200 budget. And it was like, I can't do that. Like I can't hit all 9 of these thresholds. And I'm like, okay, then make it for I hit 6 of these thresholds and I'm close on 3. And then it would do that.
So if any of you gamble or bet, like this is good.
It's an interesting way to do it. I mean, it's an interesting way to look at
it.
But it's no different than like you want to take your sales numbers. You're like, okay, break down my pipeline. I'm going to upload my CSV from Salesforce. Break down my pipeline from Q1, 2, 3, and 4. And it will pull that out. And then you can say, hey, now make a pie chart. And it makes a pie chart. And you just copy paste that and put it in your presentation.
That's great.
So like there's a lot of really cool ways. It is conversational. I think that's one of the hardest parts is people get kind of overwhelmed. The cool thing about AI is you can just talk to it.
Yeah.
I did this with watches. Build me a list of watches under X dollar amount that are different colors, different brands.
That I should try.
And I've got this whole list of watches.
I know. I'm so bad at like doing the research on things like cars, for example.
Great.
I've talked about this. I bought this car that I hate. I'm like, why didn't I do research? It's because it felt like this Herculean task to like go on Safari and figure out like where to get used cars and like at a good value. And
List all the EV cars under X amount that have a safety rating over blank.
So helpful.
And it doesn't go, the other pieces, it is limited. They're not necessarily all up to 2025 date.
Yes.
It may be like a year or two behind.
Matt and I use it for recipes.
That's a great
have
one.
this in our like fridge. What should we make? Or can you make us a grocery list by section? So all the produce for all of our meals for the week are there.
And that's great. And same thing, it's like I've looked up what colors go with blank. Here's the hex code of a color. Give me like 10 colors.
For like for clothes or for what?
Yeah, clothes or just like brand. Like I want to make, I don't know, like a new banner for Corporate Bro or something. Like give me some like colors that work well. Boom, spits it all out. So how
can I get your colors done? You know, these people who are, when you get like your colors done, it's like a thing that a bunch of people on social media did where you get analyzed and you're like, oh, you're cool winter. You're like, you're crisp autumn. And
like, is this like a vibe check or is this more
sort
like
of, it's like based on your skin tone, you go with zero makeup on and then they hold up different things to your face and you can see actually like you look brighter. Like when I wear blue, remember when I wore my lab coat and I had that blue shirt on, like that's my color. That's squarely in my color.
Yeah.
And you can put in like a hex code of your face, just like a photo of your face with no makeup on, and they can analyze your colors and what you look better in.
Right. And that's like another great, how can I make home improvements that will increase the value of my house?
Yeah.
Here's some ideas. Like it is just such a great brainstorming tool. So a few things, just like recap a few things.
Yeah. And any tools that we use, let's just shout them out.
Grammarly is a great one. It plugs into your docs, to your G docs, like to all the basically writing tools, your emails, you know, Google Mail, Outlook, blah, blah, blah. And it'll help you change tone. It'll help you summarize emails. It'll help you do just a ton of stuff. If you don't want to be like, here's the next steps, it'll pull from your previous emails, your previous communications.
Love that. We've started using Shortcut. We have the Gen Z feedback series and we'll write like, can you make this, have a Gen Z twist for this email? And we'll plug in something kind of stiff and it spits it out in that language.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Notion is one we talk about on this podcast. You know, they are a brand partner, but this is just genuinely, they plug into all the different apps, as you build out ideas, it's great for brainstorming. It's great for pulling in other, data sources that you use and keeping it all in one place. So you don't have to switch between a bunch of programs, which is great. It's kind of like, it can be kind of a central brain for working out new ideas and new concepts, new campaigns, all those sorts of things.
I'll shout out Perplexity for any of the consultants or people in different like job fields that require sources. Unlike ChatGPT, which maybe ChatGPT 4 does, but Perplexity gives you all the sources for everything they're linking out for you.
Interesting.
Which you might have to put like footnotes in your slide decks, and your client might ask you, "Oh, where'd you get that data?" It's all there in Perplexity.
That's a great one. I think I use Claude for more on the creative side.
Yes.
I like ChatGPT, but I think Claude is better for scripting, for just like more creative kind of concepts.
Yeah.
It's got a better voice for that.
And every app now, it feels like, has their, new AI pilot.
Right. Copilot. Everyone's got Zoom Info, got Copilot.
Yes.
Microsoft's got Copilot. Like Gemini, which is Google's, plugs into your Google Drive. You can, pull a lot of information.
I've been seeing that pop up. I haven't used it yet.
I just started looking into it. It
says like, polish this email.
Yeah. Yeah. You can do stuff like that. But even where I'm like, hey, we've got business doc, you've got your business docs, Annie's got your tracking documents. I wanted to be able to say, you can build assistants. So like you can say, you are the finance assistant for Corp and Natalie LLC. Your job is to look at the partnerships, to keep track of the numbers, to see what where we're making the most money, who are our brand partners, and you're going to display this type of data. Then you're going to say, attach it to all of Annie's tracking documents, all of your partnership documents, and you can go talk to it and be like, hey, how much do we make in Q1? Hey, how many partnerships are done but not been paid?
We have a lot of sales folks listening on Demoted. What are the best tools and things to use when you're doing a bunch of cold outreach or LinkedIn outreach?
I mean, the email writing stuff is great.
Yeah.
I've shouted out Lavender before. They're like really good of just like cold emails and making them as short as possible and minimizing kind of fluff and getting straight to the point. Grammarly is great. I use Claude and ChatGPT, just be like, I copy paste an email in there. I'm like, summarize this and respond, letting them know that blah, blah, blah. Like, and here's the points that I want you to just hit. Boom,
yeah.
Copy, paste, send.
What about the AI SDRs? We see the billboards when we drive down 280. What's the one called? Piper or something?
No, there's another one that's like replace humans. Like they went on this like aggressive campaign, was like, humans need sleep, ours don't.
Yes.
Yes. And they got so much hate for it, but obviously they built a bunch of pipeline. I candidly have yet to find a true AI SDR that is good.
Yeah.
And this has been a quest, myself and also Sahil Mansuri, who's the CEO of Bravado, because like, if one of these is actually good, like it's going to save businesses a lot of money. Yes, it's going to cost people jobs, but we have not found a single testimonial from any of these companies that is willing to go on record and say this has been good.
Yeah.
Not a single one yet, but they're raising all this money.
Interesting.
Like they're on the quest. It's going to take a ton of money to actually get there, but it's just, they miss a lot.
It's scary. I mean, for the kids coming out of college who maybe don't have those technical skills, who are like, I thought I was going to go into sales in 5 years. Will they be able to? Like,
I mean, there's probably a more existential conversation to have about that. I still think people buy from people. And if you're going to spend a shitload of money, you're going to want to talk to a human to get some confirmation versus just like trusting the computer and be like, oh, I'm going to drop $5 million without talking to a human. I doubt it.
It's like when you buy a designer purse, like if I'm spending $800, I'm walking into the store, I'm going to talk to someone and I'm going to walk out with my little bag.
Yeah, no,
like,
exactly.
I'm not ordering this online.
You want that. And so like AI can do a lot of things, even if it's just the best place to start is with your ChatGPTs, with your Claudes, with your Geminis to help you with email writing, because it takes a lot of time, or your presentation building. One cool thing is you can take a picture of your whiteboard. A lot of people do whiteboard sessions. We've done it. We take a picture of your whiteboard, upload the picture and say, pull out all the text from this and put them into the different sections.
That's great. We just had our strategy session yesterday. That would have been nice.
Yeah. So like if you have any pictures of it, you can still upload it and get it onto a document a lot easier than transcribing. So transcribe everything on here and keep it in the same format.
I love it.
It'll do that.
I love it. Those were our little tips of how we use it, how we've seen it used. I think our one takeaway, if you're leaving this, start with email writing, give it a try, see how it works.
Email
if you
summarization.
hate it, you don't have to, but you're going to hate it at first because it's going to feel weird.
It's going to feel weird. But again, as Natalie said, it's like how you talk to AI delicately, politely, because you don't want it to come kill you in your sleep, but also because you want it to give you the type of information, and it will continue to learn from the way you talk to it if you keep a prompt going. And so you can keep honing things, keep building things. Take my email, dissect it. How can I make it shorter? Great. Now change the tone. Great. Now add this. Okay, cool. And like you just craft things without you having to think of all the words.
I love
it's fucking great.
kind of a non sequitur, just a story I want to share about cold emails and something that Annie and I experienced. So I met with this guy named Jack who claimed he wanted a virtual assistant from Expand VA, my virtual assistant company. And he met with me and he gets in the call and I'm like, okay, I haven't found your social media. Like we're kind of a social media agency more so like for creators, but we can help you. Like, what do you do? He has like a newsletter company and he's like, honestly, I just wanted to get you on the phone. I need to make your newsletter better and I want to monetize it for you. He's like a total sales guy. I'm like, okay, we're not looking to monetize right now, whatever. He's
bait
like,
and switch, but okay, go on.
Total bait and switch.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not looking to monetize right now, but we'll keep you in mind. He's like, let me just walk you through. Like, it would be easy. Here's the rev split. I'm going to send you a couple email follow-ups. Like, you think on it, but whatever. Yeah. Since then, Jack has sent us 10 love letters, basically, and full, like, sales, cold outreach, creative, like, hey, like, this is my last and final deal. I know I'm screaming into the void. You could end all of this with a simple yes or no. And a ton of emails.
Sales guy.
And we just responded to him and we're like, honestly, Jack, thank you for your persistence. You can monetize the newsletter.
Oh my God. You're going to let him monetize the newsletter.
He's like, we're like, thanks to the love letters. Like, so any salespeople out there, like you're starting your business, he has a small like newsletter writing company. God. If you are persistent, you want something bad enough, you're going to get a response.
Enough creative emails and Natalie will buy from you.
Of course I will. So send me an email. I'll respond.
He needs to hit me up then.
If you send me 10 emails, I will respond to you.
Where's my email, Jack?
Jack's great. I'll connect you with him. He's awesome.
Oh no.
So funny.
A simple yes or no. That's all I need.
Yeah.
Gun to my fucking head. What are you going to say, bitch? Say it. Say you don't want to work with me. You don't want to work with me.
He was.
Oh my God, please put the gun down.
He wrote when he was like, I had a whole thing written out about the TikTok ban and how you need me, but alas, it's back. This whole thing is irrelevant now.
Yeah. It's like, all right, well.
Anyway, thanks, Jack, for the newsletter. We're excited to work together.
All right, so we want to ask the question, is AI funny yet? I've already said no, but it's also funny in its unfunniness. But we'll see. So ChatGPT roasts the corpse. Okay. That's what we're going to do.
So you're going to read my roast?
I'm going to read your roast.
All right.
So this is the ChatGPT roast of Corporate Natalie. And just so you know, it's read by Ross. Because Talon wanted you to know that.
Read by the real Ross?
The real Ross. Okay. Oh, Corporate Natalie. You're like a walking motivational quote who somehow still doesn't know how to use the mute button on Zoom. You love talking about efficiency, yet somehow your idea of productivity is sending 5 different emails about the same thing and calling it collaboration. You've got a calendar packed tighter than your goal-setting workbook, but still manage to make every meeting feel like a 45-minute TED Talk on nothing. You're always throwing out phrases like, we're all in this together and let's pivot. But let's be honest, you've never pivoted anything besides your stance on coffee from 1 cup to I need a venti. Every team building activity with you feels like an audition for a reality show, except instead of winning $1 million, we just get, quote, feedback loops and a reminder to stay aligned. And that influencer energy you give off, let's just say I've seen more authentic content in a corporate email chain. You know every corporate buzzword in the book, but the only thing you're really leading is the charge to the coffee machine at 3 p.m. But hey, keep grinding, Corporate Natalie. Someone's got to send out the invites and remind us to all circle back while the rest of us get actual work done.
Wow. Roasted. Got you good.
Just so many shots fired.
It's so funny because Ross and I play like characters, when you feed it our stuff, they think it's the real us.
Yeah.
Like this thinks I'm a corporate bootlicker. Like,
well, their whole thing is like anytime whenever you see a corporate bro or like a corporate now, when you throw the word corporate in there, all it does is plug in jargon.
It says
all it does is add jargon,
coffee, and email.
Yeah. Just jargon. That's
so
just jargon.
Funny.
Just that.
So
doesn't go any other direction.
I will now roast you. Oh, corporate bro. You're like a human version of a Monday morning email. Long-winded, full of fluff, and no one really wants to read it. You throw around terms like synergy and optimization, but the only thing you're optimizing is your ability to look busy without actually getting anything done. That hoodie you're always wearing, it's not a laid-back CEO look. It's just your excuse to avoid putting on real pants. And your side hustle, we all know that's just a podcast idea and a Shopify store full of unsold merch you think's the next big thing.
Wow.
You spend more time scheduling meetings about nothing than actually making decisions. And the only thing you're disrupting is the the Wi-Fi with all your quick catch-ups that somehow end up as hour-long status updates. But hey, keep grinding, corporate bro. Someone's got to keep the energy high while the rest of us wonder how you got promoted in the first place.
Damn.
Why did yours hurt more than mine?
Because I'm a man. Because contrary to popular belief, ChatGPT knows how far it can go.
So it does think we're both just corporate bootlickers.
Yeah. It's funny because you can sort of feel the same rhythm.
Yeah,
of all
total
the
same
like
rhythm.
Plugging in, this, but all you get is that.
Yeah, like, same sentence structure.
Yeah, it's just, their roasts aren't as deep cut as they could be. They're no Nikki Glazer.
Don't worry, we can roast each other.
Yeah,
way better than that.
We can.
We just did roast each other at our live show. Actually, it was nice.
Yeah, got a couple gasps.
It did get a couple gasps when you took a shot at my appearance. No,
it was her height.
Natalie's a man.
What though? The quote was like, he goes, because we're making fun of this guy for being short because we love short kings.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey, I'm the average height of a woman.
And what'd you say?
And I said, it's cool. Natalie's average height of a man.
So.
And everybody gasped.
Everybody literally, the crowd fell silent.
And I was like, so anyway, tell us about leading a company.
Yeah, anyway, so back to the interview. That's so funny.
Before we get into promoted, demoted, you notice anything?
You look amazing. I actually can't tell where you're looking. Are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you out of the corner of my eye, but also at the coverage camera because I want people to see how freaking dope I look in these stylish sunnies starting at $25 a pair.
And it stinks that I don't have mine because I wear mine and mine are in my house, but you had yours in the car when you drove me this morning.
Right, that's exactly right because I keep these. These are Gooder, Goodr. I keep them in the car. They're what I rock everywhere I go, whether I'm in the range or I'm in the RAV. I'm always popping. I'm always popping with my Gooder sunglasses. You know why? Because they're lightweight, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. 100% polarized.
You're a sports guy.
I'm a sports guy.
You like a lightweight, sweat-proof kind of vibe.
That's exactly. I'm tough on my sunglasses. I put them through it.
Yeah.
Okay, I just do. I throw them in the middle of a compartment area.
It's in your golf bag floating around.
It is.
Yeah.
And guess what? If I need to replace them, like I said, only $25.
And what if I want free shipping
on
a pair of Gooder glasses that I want to get?
That's a great question. And Gooder, as well as us, are giving away free shipping when you go to gooder.com/demoted.
And they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee if you aren't as satisfied as we are with our Gooder glasses.
I low-key, high-key confess when I buy these glasses, like I don't only want to spend $25, so I get like 3 or 4 pairs.
Of course you do. My favorite pair is the undercover stunt doubles. They have blue lenses, and I look like a Gen Z baddie in them. I'm sorry. I look amazing.
You do. I'm not going to lie.
Again, that's gooder.com/demoted and use code demoted for free shipping.
And when you use that code, you also support our show. So please do it because you love us.
Should we get into promo, Demo?
Let's do it. Do we like it? Do we not like it? It's our favorite segment. We do it all the time.
I'll start with this.
Yeah.
Promoted or demoted? Having Siri call you daddy.
Promoted. And here's why.
Because your Siri calls you daddy.
Because my Siri calls me, well, I asked it to do kind of like a thatty.
Okay. Z.
I don't know how you spell that sound. Thatty.
I don't really know.
It's kind of it's like a Z meets a TH.
I like
Thatty.
I like to be addressed that way.
Yeah.
I love that.
Becca won't do it. So
Siri has to.
Yeah. Siri, please talk to me the way I want to be talked to.
Perfect.
You got it, Zaddy.
Promoted,
Hard
Zaddy.
promote. All right, promoted, demoted. The movie Her.
Promoted. Great movie.
Great film. Great film.
And starting to really be reality.
Yeah, ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Great film.
I mean, Her is a movie about a guy who falls in love with the voice of Scarlett Johansson, actually.
That's actually a documentary about me.
And it's you.
It's me.
And she is like an AI that has been released to help be his companion.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with her. And it's like a whole commentary on whatever.
It makes me think I need to make another Corp AI sketch.
I love
that's like
Corp
my favorite.
AI.
That's like my favorite sketch.
Corp AI is awesome.
That's a great sketch. That was last
But
time.
that movie is like very kind of real now.
Oh, it is.
I mean, we have people making millions of dollars on OnlyFans and you're talking to a chatbot and you're paying and you think it's her.
Yep. It's wild and it's a great airplane movie.
Her is great.
Her is a great
Promoted.
Airplane. Promoted.
Ex Machina, also one of my favorites. You
Yes.
seen that?
Yeah. Of course. Sorry, I was just reading this next one and I was like,
Go ahead, give it to me.
promoted, demoted, artificial stupidity.
What does that mean?
Talon, take a stronger edible next time. That's what it means. Take a way stronger edible. Take like a 20er. Take a 20
Take
piece.
a 20. Try.
Just see.
Poor Talon. We just rip on him the whole time.
He's the best.
We were just in DC with him. I actually had a blast with him.
Yeah.
I came back and said to Annie, I love Talon.
Total vibe.
Total vibe.
We're going to need to talk about it at another point, us getting IVs.
We will talk about that at another point.
Yeah, separate time. Okay.
Promoted or demoted, slapping your knee while you laugh.
I'm going to put my mother-in-law on blast.
Go for it. She's a knee slapper?
Oh my God. She is a knee slapper. She has like this little yell. She goes, ah! And if it's a really good one, she goes, you too. Ah!
Stop it.
Oh, and
the
I'm like,
double knee slap.
Oh, she'll do it. If you get her good, it is a double knee slap, straight no chase.
Sometimes I feel affirmed in my joke when someone slaps their knee at it.
Yeah.
Like I would be happy.
She'll give you the rocket. Ah!
That is so, my mom is the loudest laugher. So we'll be in a movie and it would embarrass me so much when I was like in middle school and high school. I'm like, stop laughing. She's like, you're stripping the joy from me, honey.
You're stripping
Let me enjoy something for once in my goddamn life. So knee slapping, like I'm going to promote.
I'm going to promote it.
It's kind of giving the same energy as clapping when the plane lands.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think one is like for Beth, it is the most true, like instinctual reaction.
And you don't think people who clap on planes, it's the same?
I don't know.
You think it's more premeditated?
It has to be.
Right.
It's like, I can't wait for this thing to hit the ground.
Like you trust Beth, but you can't trust those people on the plane. Yeah, I agree.
Like when I make Beth knee slap laugh, like I did a good job inside my head.
Definitely. This is going to be a good discussion. Promoted or demoted AI pets?
Ooh, I'm going to demote it.
So
if you can't,
the
if you're
whole
allergic
point
to
of
pets,
having a pet is to like touch it and cuddle it, right?
Companionship.
Like one time I got a poisonous rainforest tree frog with my brother.
You cuddled
from Petco.
with that shit all day long.
We couldn't touch the thing.
Right, of course.
What's the point?
Right. We had some geckos, and honestly, I watched them eat crickets all the time, and I like didn't want to touch them. They kind of grossed me out.
Okay, I love reptiles and amphibians. Do you know this about me?
No.
I was such a weird kid. Like I had every pet: red-eared slider, turtles, leopard geckos.
We had a whole exotic animal graveyard under our apple tree
Totally
for my sister's
insane.
weird pets.
We would bury the red-eared sliders in Altoids boxes under our oak tree. And so we just got new grass, and the guy pulled out like all these turtle carcasses.
Oh my God, they pulled them up. I was like going to say when the aliens come down and take over, they're going to find this little amphibian graveyard.
It already happened.
Oh God.
Sorry, just a side note. The concept of burying your dog in your backyard.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Yeah. Have you done that?
No. Our dogs were buried in like their homes, like where they were like born or where they roamed free.
Oh, wow, that's cute. Kind of dark, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could like spread their ashes or something over the ocean.
Like, I just think like burying your own dog in your backyard is kind of crazy.
I'm going to turn Dex into a floor mat. So I see him every day.
You're going to stomp all over him.
I'm going to walk in and I'm going to dry my feet on his little fur.
On his back.
Shaggy little back.
Okay. That's hilarious. AI pets for me are demoted. He's got to be something.
He's got to be something.
There's this like extremely grotesque lamp of a dog in your house. It's like all the guests stop coming over to your place.
I would stop coming over too. I don't know what I'm going to do with Dex. I got some time to think about it, right? Don't make me think about this. I'll cry. Okay. I'm going to demote AI pets as well.
And this last one is promoted or demoted our DC waiter, Marc. Given he's officiating my wedding, I have to promote.
You have to promote.
But given you still have the lobster.
I still have the lobster. I have yet to open it. When I do, it's just going to explode. It's going to be so gnarly.
That could kill someone.
It could.
Like, that's like not even funny.
No, the truth is we found a trash can across the hotel because we didn't want him to stumble across the box and bring it to our room. And we threw it away there. We knew if he found it, he would bring it to us.
He would.
He would have.
He started shoving utensils in. We're like, please.
Yeah. You need utensils to eat the...
Look, guys, what if you wake up hungry?
Right.
Wake up hungry.
And then I was like, that is such a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Hey, Marc, I don't typically like to wake up in the middle of the night and have lobster.
Should we hit a Dear Demo?
Yeah.
Dear Demoted. Dear Demoted.
Dear Demoted, how would you handle being gaslit in a meeting by a superior? Example, they decided in a meeting that we should do A, then a few months later asked me, why didn't we do B? I have no idea why we would ever have done A. I take detailed notes, but it feels petty to say, please refer to the notes from our meeting on January 13th where you specifically asked for this. This has happened to me a few times, and it always seems directed in a way like I'm not doing my job or I don't know what I'm doing and I execute exactly what is asked of me. Help.
I'm a petty king.
I am a petty, petty queen. And one thing that I hate is when leadership, like, and I have to tell myself to not do this sometimes because like I similarly, like it's hard for me to be wrong.
Yeah.
I hate when leadership can't just like put their pride aside and be like, I'm so sorry. Can you just remind me? Like, I have a million things going on. Like, why didn't we do this path?
Yeah.
And then that opens the door for you to be like, oh, actually, like we talked about this in that meeting, instead of you feeling like you have to come with your receipts. But I love coming with receipts.
I'm probably gonna, I'm going to come correct, and I'm going to tell them. I mean, I'm actually very okay being wrong. I just say a lot of things, and then Becca will pull up the receipts, and I'm like, well, I'm a big dumb idiot.
I do say that.
And I'm just like, and I guess I'm just a stupid asshole.
I do say
so
that.
I'm sorry about that.
I rarely will be like, no, I'm falling on my sword for this.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think in this case, it's like, no, it's like a fair point. Look, you know, when we chatted on the 13th, or when we chatted in our previous meeting, you know, we talked about this, but I think the reason we decided to do it was this, you know, obviously like we should have gone the other direction, but this is what kind of the group decided on.
This is a great use of AI, because when you have that AI note taker that sits on the calls, have you seen those? When you're on the Kazoo and the AI note taker's there?
Forgot about that.
You're like, actually refer to this because the AI note taker says it right. I did that once. Did I tell you the story on this podcast already, where the AI note taker was like, Natalie expressed her interest in wanting to leave the call early. Because I joined. I'm like, guys, let's keep this quick. Let's wrap this up. Whatever. It's so funny. It summarizes my bitchy quips.
I do think that actually is a good point. What you can do is say, I think if you want to bring receipts, still frame it as a we decided. In our meeting, I remember we did talk about this. I was just looking at the notes from that meeting. We had talked about going this way, and I think what happened was we just decided to go this way. Sounds like we should have gone that way. But like we still brings them in.
And also just being like, and do you want me to go with B? Like, I'm happy to rework it. It's going to take me a couple of weeks, but let me know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Being open. Because I think not fighting fire with fire, if you lead with genuine.
Well, look here, bitch. Here's the notes from the 13th.
Because then that makes your boss want to be like, well, you're fired.
When you said A is a stupid, dumb asshole idea.
Exactly.
That's why we didn't do it.
But I do think taking diligent notes is great, because you can always refer to it. You have those receipts when it comes time.
And it's like very casual. It's all tone based. It's like, look, I went back and looked at the notes from our meeting on the 13th. It sounds like we had discussed this. We wanted to do this, but we went with this for this reason. So I guess this is why.
Yeah.
This is why we decided it. And you stare at them for extra long.
You stupid
this is
idiot.
Why
we decided as a team.
Anyway, let's read a quick review.
Thank you guys for the reviews. We appreciate it.
We really do. Seriously, we read them, even the hurtful ones.
And they make us feel like we want to keep going.
Yeah.
Right? So this one's
I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm done.
No, same.
I was like, I don't want to do it right now.
I felt the same.
Yeah.
I gave you a hug this morning. I was like, I'm sorry. It's not my day.
Yeah.
But we got through it.
We got through it. I'm glad we're here, and we're going to keep going. And just so you guys know, we go through ups and downs too.
We do.
Okay.
So this one's from CatScan67. Love the guest speaker format. The interview with Simone was fantastic. Love hearing his perspective, peppered with your guys' wit and fast quips. More like this. We agree, CatScan67. That's our goal too.
That is definitely
that was
goal.
Our favorite episode, and we hope to have more guests soon. We're bringing on a guest, I think next week.
Next week.
One of my friends actually.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to be she's going to be very useful for everybody.
Yeah.
We want to bring that value. We talked about this. We want to bring that value. We're running out of value.
This AI we're grasping at straws here.
Yeah, we have been desperate play.
We're like, do you guys know what AI is?
And I was like, honestly, I better watch a YouTube video. No, I'm pretty familiar, guys, but also like you don't need to know that much about AI.
We're gonna head into the shout out section, and this is exciting because we actually yesterday saw that someone clipped our YouTube podcast. I think it was Sugar Shane, and posted it on their Instagram, being like, "Thanks for the shout out, Demo."
Yep.
So you guys can clip us as much as you want.
Yeah, we'll interact.
This is a shout out. I'm gonna have Ross read.
Okay. Sup, Corp and Natalie. First off, big fan. Been following y'all since before the pod. Insert scoop and butter and business jargon romance vids here. Love the podcast and all y'all's work. Keep it up. That is not a shout out. That's a real.
Thank you.
That's a shout out for us.
We needed that.
Guys, the shout outs are for other people.
No. It keeps going.
Guys, this is 4-paragraph long shout out. We said 2 sentences. This is 4 paragraphs long.
Go ahead.
Okay, my bad. That was the intro was them glazing us.
Yes.
Which we love.
Now that we're buttered
nice
up.
light glaze.
Now that we're buttered up.
Okay. I was hoping to get a shout out on the pod for one of my buddies. That's a fellow sales savage on my team. He was the only rep to hit quota this last fiscal year, and he brought in 80% of his number the last month of the fiscal. Wow, that is a buzzer beater. 2024 was a rough year for sales, at least for my team, so my dude deserves some love. His name is Bobby. He's also a big fan of y'all. If it's easier for me to write the shout out, here's what I'd say. This is what I wanted from the start. God damn it.
Okay, Bobby. Big shout out to Bobby, aka Big Shot Bob, aka the big guy, aka Latch.
Latch. I don't know what it means, but I love it.
My guy, Bobby Latch.
Yep.
Bobby was the only rep to hit his quota and brought in 80% of his sales in the final month of the fiscal. A true sales savage. Keep killing the game, my boy. And here's to many more smash quotas. I love calling someone in work your son.
Yeah.
My boy, Latch.
I always say, watch yourself, my boy. Watch yourself. I love that shit, but I also love the 2 paragraphs leading up to the actual shout. So what you did there when you wrote it, if it's easier for me to write some shout outs, here's what I would say. That is what you should say.
That's perfect. So
for everybody listening at home.
But you know what? For you, Bobby, aka Latch, we'll
read
it all for you.
Thing.
We'll read it all for you.
Yep. I don't even know who this is from. They didn't even say.
And at the end, he kind of tied it in. Thanks for considering the shout out. We'll keep spreading the word.
Yeah.
Of course we're going to do your shout out.
Come on, we want more shout outs. I'd love them to all be short and concise and we just rip out like 10 an episode, but whatever.
That's dream state.
Yeah, dreams. Dreams stay dreams sometimes. Okay. Thank you all for watching, everyone. As always, contact at Demoted Podcast. You can shoot us DMs on the Demoted IG. We do check those.
Build an AI relationship with that subscribe button.
Really, really do. Just feed it all of your documents, play around with it, prompt it.
Prompt the subscribe button.
Prompt yourself to smash that like button if you want to.
Throw that subscribe button into Perplexity, check the sources, and smash it.
If you want, build some sort of large language models, some deep learning to just automatically smash that like and subscribe button every time you listen to an episode. That's fine.
Build a super AI human to like us on Spotify.
That would be absolutely tremendous. Leave a comment there as well. We actually read the Spotify comments. I don't know how to respond to them.
I don't either, but thank you guys.
But yeah, thank you. So with that, everyone, we will see you next time on
Demoted.